Okay, quilters, I'm here with a Quilters Rant. So, one of my coworkers knows I quilt. And before Christmas, she expressed interest in buying a quilt. And I said, well, I do have quilts that I can sell you, but I wanted to wait till after the holidays because whenever I make all my quilts for the year, I lay them all out and I let family pick which ones they want. So that happened at Christmas, and that left me with 3 leftovers. So one morning, I'm going to say it was like the 11th or 12th of January. I went ahead and before I left the house, I just got a new phone. And let me know if you can hear me better on this device. I just gotten a new phone, so I went ahead and uploaded my photo of the quilt, one quilt. I had time to do that in the morning before I left. When I get to work that morning, this lady has been very, very mean to me, but I'm going to cut her some slack because I think she was taking medication, and so I'm not going to hold it against her. I'm just going to let that part go. So I arrived at work, and 3 of my coworkers, including this lady, were all talking about sewing when I arrived. And I think one lady had 3 sewing machines of a deceased relative that she was trying to get rid of. She had asked me a long time ago, and I said, no, I didn't need somebody else's machine. I want to pick my own machine. I don't want somebody to give me a machine. And no. So anyway, they were talking about sewing, and then she said, hey, by the way, did you ever get a picture on your phone of a quilt that you wanted to sell? And I said, yes, I did. So we went over to my desk and I unpacked my bag, my lunch bag. It had my phone in it. Got out my phone. I showed her. She goes, oh, that's beautiful. And I will put a picture right here of the quilt. So it was a Laundry Basket Quilts Mystery 2021. I'd actually made the quilt twice. I'll put the other picture here of the one I gave away because I didn't like it. That went to a homeless person. It looks like a lot of work, but the way that Adidas Sitar shows you each block, make 12 of these 4-inch blocks, it's not hard. So I made 2 of those. One I gave away. This other one, and I didn't tell her that. It turned out gorgeous. It is very photogenic. The contrast of the yellows and the blacks, it turned out very good. Now, the part on the quilt that I selected was the border, which totally made the quilt a different quilt. So for those of you who have made the Laundry Baskets 2021 Mystery, the border was an add-on which made it larger. And I think, if I recall, and I would have to measure, I think the quilt's around 80 by 80. So she said that she really liked the quilt. She never asked the size, which I thought that was kind of strange. She just immediately went into how much. Well, that quilt, I custom quilted it. So I'm not going to give away my work for free. So I said $1,500, which I'm not sure how many hours I had in that quilt. I think I had over 50 in the quilting alone, plus all the piecing and the materials. She said, whoa, that's way too much. And then explained to me that she used to be able to go to the trades day in the town that I live in and buy a quilt for $35. She was doing this in front of the other ladies. Now, I didn't say anything. I just let her say whatever she's going to say. After the fact, everybody said, yeah, that quilt's too high priced for me. Now, Walmart has spoiled many people. If you want a $50 quilt, you can go to Walmart. Or is it $100 now? I don't even know because I don't shop at Walmart. Go to Walmart. If you want a quilt, go to Walmart. Well, she said that she could get a quilt for $35 at Trades Day. Now, that time period when there was a lady down there, that lady used to be my long armor. And what she did is in 2003, I think, 2004, she would set up a booth at Trades Day, and she would show off the quilts that she made, and she would sell them. Mind you, she could get the fabric at cost, and she was trying to drum up long-arming business. So the quilt patterns, the quilts that she was selling was the turning 20 quilt pattern, which is not a difficult pattern compared to the one that I was showing this lady at work. And she was only selling them for $35. That is correct, because that's what people could afford in the area. There was no special quilting on it. They were very large pieces of the turning 20. They were very floral, whatever you want to call it. They were not my cup of tea. I know that she also used polyester batting. So any of those quilts that got used probably are no longer in existence because the polyester broke down the cotton fibers. She just made it seem like I should be, since I give away quilts, and I do, she knows that. When a baby is born from a coworker, I do give them a baby quilt. It's baby size, crib size, tummy time size. I do that. But I do that for the baby. I don't do it for the parents. I really don't care about the parents. I do it for the baby. I'm imprinting on the baby. Maybe one day they'll grow up to be a quilter. I'm assuming that's why I was a quilter, because I had tummy time on quilts. And no one really quilted in my family religiously. There might have been 3 or 4 quilts, and that's it. So, when you are pricing something, make it worth your while. If somebody was commissioning something from you, make it worth your while. Don't give away your work. This ain't slave labor. And for those of you who want to buy quilts out there, who think you can spend $200 on a quilt, good luck finding that. I know baby quilts sell more than that. For the difficulty of pattern and the hours I had in that, I am so peeved off that she does not value my time. She values her time. She says she'll never sew. She knows how, but she's never ever gonna do it. She values her time, but my time is not valuable. So screw you, woman. I don't have to sell jack to you, nor to anybody else. For those of you quilters out there that have had this happen to you, make it worth your while. Quote a ridiculous price. If you're doing a t-shirt quilt, it depends on what part of the country you are in as to what to charge. Make it worth your while. I did one for $400. I will never do one for less than $1,000 because it is commissioned work and it is something I don't have time to do. I don't want to do. A t-shirt quilt is just squares. If they wanted to do it, they could do it. I am, from now on, going to quote an outrageous price. And if they bite, I'll get the money up front. Because I ain't pulling this. I am not going to come back to this lady and say, oh, well, if you go buy the fabrics and the materials, I'll go ahead and do it for this price. She has not a clue. I explained to her, I said, there are more than 15 yards of fabric in that quilt. Fabric costs $15 a yard. Now, she might shop at Walmart and think that it doesn't, but I don't shop at Walmart. I'm not buying the cheap crap. I'm buying the good stuff. I explained to her that for long arm quilting, that custom quilting, if I were to charge 10 cents a square inch, that's $600 right off the bat. Yes, she could select a different quilt that didn't have that. She wasn't interested in the size, which I just thought was strange. I just think she wanted to give me lip service because she's kind of a drama whore. Sorry I say that word, but she is. So, quilters, don't undervalue your time and effort. Charge whatever you want. Charge more than the going rate. You are worth it.